Leo, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will be from the 12th to the 19th of November. I'm still shuffling the cards. Give me a minute, Leo. 6 cards. We'll clarify them if you need to. So, what lies behind you? The Two of Cups. So, central theme being relationships. Relationships come in many shapes or forms, Leo. I don't need to tell you that. The Two of Cups definitely points to a love reading. It's right next to the Five of Discs, which might mean there's a feeling of separation from someone that you love here. Okay? Boy, Leo, this theme seems to be... It seems to be a theme that's gone through your readings for a very long time. Okay. 2 sixes are showing up. The 6s are always harmony after the 5s, okay? The 5s, I call that difficult birth. We're trying to get through into a new beginning, but we get stuck, okay? Which is sort of a bit of a theme that Leo's had, it feels, for a little while here, okay? So, now, interestingly enough, the Five of Discs is a gift. Now, I'm going to ask, why is the Five of Discs a gift? Because the Five of Discs, if this is a relationship, it's about being separate. And the only reason I can see the separation is a good thing is because you've had to learn to develop your own resources, your own backbone, your own gifts, your own talents, and your own desires, okay? But I'm asking why it's a gift. Why is this Five of Discs a gift? Give me a minute. Because of the Four of Wands, okay? Because the Four of Wands is all about stability. I think there's, for some Leos, there's a partnership here. And the energy with that 5 and that 4, because the Four of Wands would be about engagement, marriage, moving in together. So that these are both gifts, and it's almost, for some of you, the separation is what's giving you clarity about what you truly want. And by the looks of it, what you most truly want is to join, because there's more than one of you. There's 3 here, plus there's some animals, which means it's about moving out of separation and into a more stable unit. The challenge is the Victory card, which is success. So why is this a challenge? Because of the 9 of Swords. Oh boy, Leo. I have not had one straightforward reading this week. Oh, the 9 of Swords is an energy of contraction, okay? Now, it's living out of fight or flight. And some Leos are so in their minds. It's like you're imagining every worst case scenario that is possible to happen to you. And that is so exhausting and absolutely awful way to live, okay? So maybe something's got a little bit stuck. What's got stuck is the 10 of Cups, which is the light after the rainbow, the happy family. Something is in transition here. There's definitely that 5 of Discs with the 9 of Swords. There's all those fears. Will we have enough? Will it ever work out for us? Will we have success? Will we have victory? And what I don't like about the 9 of Swords, it's like a CD that's just playing round and round in your head. And every time it happens, Leo, you're losing a little bit of your soul force. And what we need to make change is soul force, which is our fire, which is the ability to go out and to make these changes happen. Now, there's definitely cycles in our lives when we can't make things happen, okay? When we're in the Hanged Man, when we're in the Moon, High Priestess, okay? because they're periods of our life when we're completing chapters in order to move forward. There's so much fear here, and a lot of the fear, I think, is going to be maybe around, will we have enough money? Do we have enough resources to make this happen? I'm going to carry on, Leo, and I'll pull some more cards for you. How others are showing up for you is quite guarded, okay? Now, I don't dislike the Seven of Wands cards. A lot of people do. But in this deck, the door is a little bit open and a little bit shut. It's half and half. It's negative if the person's being brash and being cruel and being quite guarded with you. But in some ways, it can be a really positive card, because it's also a card about valuing your own self and your own energy, and not just allowing anyone to come and take from your pot of energy. So it's got very, very different meanings here. I think I'm going to have to clarify it. How are people showing it? Okay, the King of Swords. The people showing up for you might be a bit cut off from their emotions, Leo. Okay? That's why the Five of Discs is showing up. There's a bit of a separation between you and the person that you love, which I think is creating some anxiety for you, some sort of feeling of loss of connection. Okay, give me a minute, I'm going to carry on. But the central issue is the Six of Cups, which is the card of reuniting, coming back together again. And the outcome is the Crone. So why is the Six of Cups the overall energy? It's with the King of Cups. So this is a really deep emotional bond. But by the looks of it, Leo, there's the energy of separation between the two of you. You're over there, they're here, and I can't get the two of you to meet, because how you meet is in that light, but you're both separate from it. Just bear with me, I'm going to keep going. So the outcome is the Crown, which is going within. I think some of you have been on a very, very long journey, by the way, because sometimes I absolutely adore the Crown. But it can be a feeling of, oh, I'm quite tired of walking this road on my own. There's definitely a relationship here, but I've got a feeling some Leos aren't being supported and nurtured and loved here. Now, after the Crone, ooh, I like this, comes the Ace and the Sun. I've only done this for a couple of other people when I felt they've been left without a conclusion. I don't like that, because you need to know what's coming ahead. This is the Sun with the Ace. Tends to be, it could be a new job, a new chapter, a lot of joy. There's a division between you and a significant other, Leo. It doesn't have to be a love bond. It can be a work colleague. It can be you and a child. But there's definitely what's going on here. Okay. I want to ask why your relationships are a little bit cold. There's a bit of a coldness here, yeah. Emperor, guarded energy, a bit like the Four of Pentacles, if you know it. I love the Emperor, but not in a relationship bit, by the way. The positive side of all these cards is you're being forced back into your own energy here, Leo, in order to use that fire to actualize a new goal, which is the Sun and the Ace, okay? There's fear and there's anxiety. Now, I really want you to watch how you're using that energy, because you become so exhausted when you're operating in the Nine of Swords. It depletes the adrenal glands, and then you get lost in a vicious cycle because you don't have the energy to overcome it. There's a lot of guarded energy in your relationships, but there's so much emotional depth here. So what, yeah, it's all happening because of the Eight of Swords. It's about people who feel they can't get their life to move forward. They feel stuck. You cannot be going to a better potential than both these cards. I mean, the only other would be like the Empress for the Four of Wands, yeah? That's another fantastic combination of cards, but so are these. Something new wants to start. And there's a little bit of darkest before the dawn. But the biggest power you have, Leo, is over that Nine of Swords. Now, we cannot just tell our mind to stop working that way. But what we can do is do the work that we need to on our boundaries, on our self-care. That is the work that we do, which starts to slow our mind down because there's too much anxiety here. And I don't like, Leo, I don't like seeing you exhausted at an emotional level, which is what the Nine of Swords will do to you. Okay, oh my gosh, and the Empress is here. Couldn't say it anymore. Self-care, nurture. Eat from the garden. If you want to think the way that the source energy thinks, you have to eat and look after yourself the way that the source does. Nurture, massage, self-care, Leo. This is the answer to the Nine of Swords. Nurturement. That's exactly what I wanted to say, and she just turned up here. Anyhow, Leo, complex. If you want a private reading with me, my email's in the About section. And look after yourself, Leo. Okay, lots of love. Bye.